Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Live here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. I'm Victoria, and if you love all things scrapbooking and crafting and Disney, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to be working in my Disney mini album, my more specifically, my Disney Epcot Solo Day mini album. I went to Disney twice this year. But the last time I went, I was in Orlando, Florida for a trade show, and I decided, you know what? When in Orlando, you go to Disney World. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I also have my Frozen t-shirt on today because I went and saw Frozen this weekend. It was a surprise from my wife, Aubrey, and she surprised me and my daughter, Corinne, with tickets, and we're super excited to see that. So let me know, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know that you're here. We're going to be focusing on Disney today. Let me know if you're a Disney fan, number one, and if you enjoy scrapbooking your Disney adventures, whether it's visiting the parks, both here in the States or even overseas, because there is Disneyland in Paris, and I believe Japan, and it's really cool. Tokyo, maybe specifically. And of course, we've got Disneyland in Anaheim, California, and Disney World in Orlando, Florida. I've been to both land and world over the years. To world more than I've been to land. So there we go. Let me know if you are a Disney fan in the chat and say hello. So glad to have you guys here. I do apologize. I wasn't able to go live last week. I had some continued dental issues. I'm feeling much better now. Got on an antibiotic because there was a little bit of an infection there, which I had been saying this whole time. To my dentist, I believe there is an infection. So getting that situated, I'm going to adjust my mount here. For some reason, it just will not stay up. So I'm just going to have to pay attention to that throughout the live. Okay, so maybe we're good there. Hello, everybody. Hi, so glad that you are here. We've got some new faces. We got some regulars. For our new folks, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click the bell. That way you'll be notified every time I post content to the channel. Anytime I go live on the channel, you will be notified. Also, give this a thumbs up if you are enjoying the content during this live. That lets YouTube know that you're having a lot of fun. And Super Chat is enabled, so if you would like to support Victoria Marie Designs via Super Chat, you can get it on that as well. There's a little button at the end of the chat box. I believe it's like a little dollar sign or something. If you want to throw a little something my way in support of Victoria Marie and this channel, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Hey, Suze. hello, and Diane and Kathy and Amy. We do have some Disney fans in the house. I'm a fan of Disney, but man, that new Genie Plus, oh my God, Isadori, I completely understand. We were hit on our last trip. We were hit and miss with Genie Plus. I think it's just going to be one of those things that we have to get used to until Disney comes out with something else. I can go on and on about that, but yes, I completely agree. Hey, Kim, what's going on? She says that she has a Disneyland solo trip from March to Scrapbook. Thanks for the inspiration. Awesome. Hey, Barb, what's going on? And Kathy is here. So many folks went to Disneyland in 2019 at 64 with my 10-year-old grandson. Well, that's fantastic, Mary. You're never too old for Disney, right? It's for everybody. Disney is for everybody. Hey, Ada, what's going on? Excuse me. I know it's been a long time. I didn't go on live last week because I was at the dentist. I was at the dentist last week. Hello. Michelle is a huge Disney fan, of course. So today what I'm working on is my mini album and what I'm trying to accomplish, guys. Thank you so much, Amy, for your super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Amy says number one, the piece of paper, awesome. So what I want to do, and I've decided this a few months back because I have so many projects that I want to scrapbook. I have my Disney projects. I have a project from 2018. I have a project from we surprised Corinne with a trip to Disney World in February for her 12th birthday. And so I have all these Disney adventures that I want to scrapbook. And I've also have really needing to slow the pace down and really focus on stories that I feel are important, stories that I like to look back on, experiences, things of that nature that I just haven't been giving a lot of attention to in my scrapbooking because I've been so tied up with all kinds of other stuff. par for the course, right? I know you all can definitely relate. So, what I decided to do for the second half of the year is to focus on smaller projects that I can get done within about a 10 to 12 week period. So, my goal for this particular project is to get it done within about 12 weeks or so. And I think that's absolutely doable. I think it's totally, totally doable. Hello, everyone who's just joined us. I also want to make sure that I'm keeping the project manageable and keeping it small. And I thought that this particular trip that I want to document, I'm only documenting one day. So I don't need to do a big 12 by 12 album. It doesn't have to be this big shebang. But it was my first time going to Disney World by myself. And if you're like me, then you probably enjoy solo travel, as I do tremendously. I love traveling with my family, but I also like traveling by myself. And being someone who works from home, being somebody who homeschools, I'm always around family. And so when I had the opportunity to go to the Creativation Trade Show in Orlando, Florida this year, I planned a full day, or at least probably about 6 or 7 hours at Disney's Epcot, Disney World Epcot. And my plan was to eat and drink and have fun and to just explore and play without having to be on anybody else's schedule but my own. And so that's what I'm doing, excuse me, with this particular project is documenting not only my experience of going to Disney by myself, which by the way, I highly recommend, but also talking about solo travel. And I absolutely love it. And I don't get to do it as often as I used to when I was single, but I definitely really, really appreciate having an opportunity to just spend some time with myself doing something that I love, which of course is going to Disney World. I love traveling all over the place, but Disney is one of the places that I love to travel. So what am I using for this project? I am using for my album, an album from Citrus Twist. And some of you are probably familiar with this album. This is called a life crafted album, and it's a traveler's notebook size album. It's a linen album. You have I put a link to where you can find these albums, as well as some dimension information as well. The measurements of the album. I believe it's like 4.25 by 9.25. The inserts are roughly 4.25 by 8.25. And the spine is 1 3/4, I believe. So very nice spine. Now, this is a great album to do this type of project with. Also, with traditional traveler's notebooks, you have inserts, which are great, and you can also purchase pockets, which is fine too. But with this album, it comes with pockets, and you can also purchase other pockets with that as well. So it's with different designs and different variations in terms of the design of the pockets. And when I first started out doing traveler's notebook spreads, I thought, I love the size and I love the concept, but I was really missing the pocket element. So I'm glad that they have these albums. Not most, but all of the inserts are going to measure 4.25 by 8.25, give or take a few inches. Again, I left that information in the description if you want to check it out. I also edited a lot of my photos and resized my photos using Photoshop, although you can do this as well in programs like Canva. So if you're not Photoshop proficient, I'm not really. I'm just playing around with it because I told myself I would teach myself how to do Photoshop. I've been resizing photos so they can scale down a little bit smaller for this particular project. I'm going to try to hold up the photos a little bit so you can see them. I have my filming lights on and they're glaring on the pocket pages. Another cool thing about this is that you can add in memorabilia. They have these little insert strips. This is not exactly what it's called. I always forget the name of these things, but it has some double-sided adhesive so you can stick it on a piece of memorabilia or whatever that you might want to put in your album. So I have this Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival little booklet. And this is what I picked up when I was there because the Flower and Garden Festival was going on at that time. And it's so much fun. If you haven't been to Disney's Epcot, they have tons and tons of festivals throughout the year, but this one's my favorite. So this is the second time that I went to Flower and Garden. I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little booklet here and I'm going to slap it on one of these little insert dill bobs, and then I can stick it into my binder or into my album. So that's another cool thing that you can do. So just like your 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11, 6 by 8 albums, you can also insert things like that as well. Now, a lot of the designers that I follow that work in this size, they will do some out of the pocket layouts as well, which I'm going to do a couple of those too. So I'm going to share the progress of this project, both live and recorded video. So if you're someone who can't stick around for the live, don't worry, because I will have some recorded process videos that will come as I'm working on this project. Okay. Alrighty. So what I wanted to do today was kind of talk about what I'm using. I'm sorry, I have to adjust my phone. My camera mount just is not working with me today. Um, so what I want to do today is kind of set up the preliminary pages and kind of get those decorated. Usually when I'm working on a project like this, I'm sort of like game time decision maker. So I will make decisions as I'm putting this album together. But what I like to do, however, let me grab my sketchbook, is I need some type of guide for my project. So I just have this basic standard sketchbook. You can pick this up at any craft and hobby or art store. And I'll just go through and start sketching some things out. I do have a Disney mini album planner thing that I developed some years ago, and I don't know where it's at. But sketching, just at minimum, just, sketching the ideas out definitely helps before I get started. So I just draw out the pages and draw what photos that I want where and some design notes and that type of thing. So this is kind of where I'm getting started, is with my sketchbook. Now, you may be asking, well, Victoria, what are you using? I am using a lot of stash. Actually, everything I'm using for this project is from my stash. And so I have a whole bunch of embellishments and papers and pocket cards and whatnot from previous Say Cheese collections, Say Cheese 1 through, I think there was 1, 2, 3, and 4, perhaps. I posted a link to their latest collections in the description. The newest collection I got to see at Creativation, and it's more specific, Disney specific to certain parks and themes, which I think is great. So if you're into Disney and you like scrapbooking Disney, make sure you check that out. I posted a link down below. So I just went through my Disney stash and I put together a little cart with specifically Disney related or Disney themed items. So I've got some stuff from Echo Park, from Simple Stories. I also have some things from Elle Studio, which, by the way, Elle Studio has lots of fun little elements that are Disney themed. This is from an older collection. I'm trying to see if I can find my other papers in here. Excuse me. But I have some of that from Elle Studio. I also put together some little embellishment things as well. This is a variety of different little elements, from wood veneer to die cuts to acrylic pieces and all that kind of stuff that are both from Elle Studio, Say Cheese, that type of thing. So everything that I'm using is from my stash. I also have some stamps that I'll be working with as well, that I just pulled out, things that I've just kind of collected over the years that I will be using for this project. By the way, if you are a Victoria Marie Patreon member, I did post a full setup video of my Disney cart, and I'll be kind of vlogging about it, or not vlogging, but blogging about it as well, and I'll share it here on the YouTube channel. But if you are a Victoria Marie Patreon member, then you got the inside scoop. So make sure you check out that video. And if you're not, you are welcome to join Patreon. There's a link down in the description. I did a bonus content specifically talking about how I set up my Disney cart. Here's another stamp set. This is from the Magical Memories collection from Elle Studio. That came out a couple of years ago, but they have some new ones, by the way. So I have a lot of different things I'm going to be working with, but I wanted to challenge myself to use stuff from my stash because I have so much of it. That was very important for me to use before I bought anything else. I am so tempted to buy the new stuff. I'm just going to stick with the old stuff right now, which is great, right? Because then you get to see the stuff in action. Let's see. Isadori says, are you starting with photos or stories that you want to tell and plan out? That is a really good question. So I typically will go through and look at my photos first, and then in my sketchbook, I'll plan out in which order the stories are going to go. So I let the photos determine the story, and then I will put in order the stories that I want them to, how I want them to be told in the album. So I knew for this particular project, I want to start out with a pass photo of myself in front of the big, large Epcot ball when you enter the park. And this was a professionally taken photo, which I absolutely love. And then I also wanted an airplane shot because I like to add airplane shots whenever I'm if I'm flying, or if I'm driving, then it'll be a car shot. So travel. And then I knew that I wanted to put in a photo of the signage as I'm driving into the Disney property. This was the first time I was able to get a photo like this, so I wanted to make sure that I had that there, so that will dictate that story. And then I'm just following my trip sort of in order of how things happened when I was there. So taking a selfie right in front of the park, eating lunch, and I'll just go on and on and on. And so what I'll do is, as I'm sketching out the design and deciding what photos I'm going to use, I'm also making note of the story that I want to tell. So here's a note over here where I'm talking about journaling, and I want to make a list of what my solo day itinerary was going to be. And so I went ahead and typed that out, printed it on vellum, and put it right here on top of this pattern paper. I'm going to add some embellishing and stuff there. So I have an idea of what I want to write. And then sometimes I change my mind. Like down here, I changed my mind on that design. I went for a different design, which I'll show in just a second. So typically the photos are going to inform the story, and then I put the story in order in terms of how things happened throughout my trip. So very good question. Very, very good question. All right. So let's get started on this. I thought that I would start with this photo, and I want to layer something here, but I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like yet. So I think I want to start with decorating this front cover. And I'm going to pull in some die cuts. I have some things that I made that I was playing with some months ago. I made this little embellishment out of a little frame and some pattern paper, and I thought maybe I could put like Epcot Day on that or do something layered here. So I am going to just pull out some materials and see how far I get. Now, if you have any questions, make sure you post them in the comment section in the chat. Dina says, love seeing your sketchbook process. Thank you. I firmly believe in sketching things out. Taking the time to sketch things out as you're planning a project like this, right? Okay, so I'm going to get my little tray. I got this from Target, by the way. And I thought about doing a little something, excuse me, like this. And just kind of seeing what all I have in terms of die cuts. And the cool thing about these types of projects is you can make them as detailed or not as you want. And I'm kind of going for more of a clean, kind of simple design for this one, because I want to make sure that the story is primary. You know, as I'm thinking about creating this cluster, I might not need anything on that photo, because I really, really like this photo just the way that it is. Hey, Kim, what's going on? Happy that you're here. Let's see here. Let's see what else I got in my little stashy stash. There's some things that I don't know if I pre-made that or something, if it came like that. I don't remember. All right. Just kind of seeing what I have available. How about we'll do a frame maybe. I'm just kind of building out a cluster here. That's a nice start. That's a nice start. And using my stash. Using my stash. In fact, when I talk about digging into my stash, guys, I have some old Pebbles stickers that are falling off. Some old Pebbles. Some Allison Creft stuff from Webster's Pages. Do you guys remember this one? I've had this for so long. This is from 2015. Some Hey Girl from Basic Gray. More Pebbles. Some Alpha Chips. Like, I reached in my stash, my friends, because, you know, we got to use this stuff. Alrighty, so I think this is a good start here for a nice little layered thing. And I think what I'll do is maybe put like 2022 Epcot Day. That looks good. Let me find some letters that'll work. I have, well, I have actually a few things I could probably use. Let's see here. I've got come on, letters. Let's go. Here we go. I've got a bunch of these paper person letters, which might work well. I also have some Elle Studio ones, but this might be a little bit too big. These are the Jane Alphas. Do these come with numbers? They do. Ooh, and it has plenty of 2s. So maybe I'll do like a block letter there. And I miss October afternoon stickers. Me too. I totally miss them. Those have to be older than 2015. You know, Kim, it says on the package 2015. Yeah, it sure does. 2015. So maybe, let's see. Archival 2015 from Webster's Pages. Yep. Although 2015 doesn't seem like it was that long ago, it kind of was, right? The years just keep going by. Let's see. What if I do? Okay, I know I want to do it that way. All right. So what if I just do Epcot day? So this particular day, I purposely planned an early morning flight from Dallas Fort Worth into Orlando. And I left, God, my flight was probably at like 6 in the morning or something like that. And I got to Orlando a little bit after 11. And by the time I got my bags and my rental car and everything, I was headed to the park about 12. Perfect timing. The weather was amazing, as it can be in Orlando in the spring. And I parked my car, drove to Epcot, parked my car, very simple, and put on my ears, put on my magic band, grabbed my lounge fly bag, and literally just like skipped almost the whole way from my car to the entrance of Epcot. It was just so much fun. Put that down. My plan was to grab lunch first, and I'll get to that story here in just a second. So I was going to grab lunch first and then tour. Do I want to do it that way? Yeah, because I might want to put something there. And then tour the pavilions at Epcot. There are 11 pavilions, and they're all based on different countries, if you haven't been there. Lots of food and drinks and cultural things, and just really fun. Epcot also has rides, although it doesn't have a ton of rides right now. There was supposed to be some new development and new things coming to Epcot before 2020, and that didn't, or right around 2020, and it actually didn't happen due to the pandemic. So there's some projects that got scrapped, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But my goal was not to ride rides. My goal was just to walk around, eat and drink, and take in all the sights and just relax. Oh, and to take as many PhotoPass photos as I possibly can. So you can purchase a PhotoPass package, and they have photographers stationed throughout the park, and it's a great way to take photos and to get photos you wouldn't probably normally get, just taking photos on your own. And they load it to your My Disney Experience account, and then you have like 45 days to download the photos, which is great. So I have my PhotoPass synced with my Magic Band, which is a little bracelet that you can wear to get into the park. It has all your information on it, your trip information and whatnot. And they just scan your PhotoPass, or scan your Magic Band. You take your photo, and it loads to your My Disney account, which is fantastic. I saw someone on FB say that they write the date on their supplies just to gauge how long it takes them to use them. That is a smart idea. It's a smart idea for hoarders. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to readjust my camera mount. For some reason, it is just not wanting to stay up. I'm so sorry about that. Mary says, love your camera tray. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a gift from one of my longtime subscribers. She also attended a scrapbook retreat of mine when I hosted in-person retreats a couple of years ago. And she gave me this little camera. And it says, stop, smile, breathe, life is beautiful. So yeah, I have no clue where she got this from. But anyway, I use it for small stuff. Alrighty, so I think what I want to do is just kind of layer this like so. And I need to take this off. I initially made this embellishment and then I didn't use it. So I'm going to take the foam off the middle of it. So I don't need that. Ugh. There we go. Maybe scissors will help me out just a little bit. Okay, that is how I got that great picture. You were absolutely right. This is a PhotoPass picture, and they use a special lens to get this shot. So you're able to get you and the Epcot ball all in one photo, which is really, really cool. Really awesome. It's worth it. I think you pay like $100 and something bucks for the service. I think it's absolutely worth it, in my opinion, particularly as a scrapbooker. Because, you know, trips like this, or any trip really, I appreciate when there's services, photo taking services, because that means that means less photos that I have to take, right? I can just be in the moment. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And the PhotoPass photographers are so sweet. They're so nice. And they can do all of these different special graphics and things and add fun stuff to your photos. And then there's videos. And then usually in the package, Disney will include photos of the attractions and whatnot that you couldn't necessarily take just as, you know, a casual, that you wouldn't be able to take on your own, in your own camera, rather, like action shots and stuff. Okay, so I think that's going to go, yeah, let's do it like that. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. Let's adhere that down. Using some Barely Art glue. I could have also used some double-sided tape as well. And if you hear laughing in the background, my daughter and her friend just came back from ballet intensives. It's about to get noisy in here. Okay, so I'm just going to that down there. Now, someone asked me not too long ago when I was talking about this project, am I going to decorate the outside of the album? And the answer to that is no, because my albums sit on a shelf, like a bookshelf, and the front cover would be damaged moving it in and outside the shelf. So I don't decorate the front covers of my albums anymore. Unless it's an album that I'm going to display where the cover is facing front. But other than that, like these live crafted albums are just going to go on my shelf with the spines showing. All right, so let's do this. I add just a little bit of foam tape there. And then let's add the little banner, which I guess I was going to use at some point. I put foam tape there, so I guess now is the time to use it. Just add a little bit of movement here with the banner. Maybe I need to add one more. I'll put that there. Oh, come on. There we go. You ever argue with your design? Come on, elements. Get to where I need you to be. Okay. That's cool. And I want to put the year 2022 on there, and I'm thinking I want to use letter stickers, but I'm not sure. I want to add some more little dooley bops. That's a technical term for embellishments. First heard of PhotoPass, but can't wait to do it next time. Oh, yes. It's such a great service. Such a great service. PhotoPass guarantees that you are in the picture instead of taking the picture. Absolutely. So if you are somebody who, oh, I'll just put a Mickey here. If you are somebody who is always taking the photo, but you're hardly ever in the photo, PhotoPass is for you. For sure. All right, so I'm looking in my little container here. I got this at the Dollar Tree. Don't want to put that there. I really don't want to put the castle there because honestly, there's not a castle. The castle is at Magic Kingdom, not at Epcot. So, but it's Disney, so maybe I'll just do that. All right, so this little Mickey head here is just a little. It's a little die cut that I made using this punch. It's from EK Success, and it has a whole bunch of little Mickey heads of various sizes. So it's a really awesome punch. And this is Disney licensed product, so I love that. I might, you know what? I might actually keep the castle there. Because why not? It's Disney. Why not? Why not? Add a little bit of foam. Let's see. And then I think I'm going to be done with the inside cover. And then I'll add the year somewhere. I'm just going to stick this down here. Here we go. And I feel that it needs something else. I just don't know what at this point. But the cool thing about this type of project is that you can add to it as you go along, right? Maybe a little camera with something in it, like a little wood veneer camera. Kind of like that there, but I also want to put something behind it. I feel like I have a smaller camera somewhere around here. If you are enjoying this content, make sure you hit the like button. It definitely helps out the channel. And for those of you who just joined me, I am going to be sharing recorded videos of this particular project as well. So if you can't catch the lives, no worries. You can catch the recorded. I'm going to come back to that. Okay, I'm going to be done with that for right now. And I think this is good to start out the album. And I'll probably add a little bit of something else to it. But for right now, Epcot Day. There's that to start out the album. Needs a Death Star. Oh my goodness, that might be Aubrey Calvin joining us. Hello, Aubrey Calvin. Hello. I'm not putting a Death Star in this. All right, so here's the photo. And I don't think I'm going to put anything on top of the photo. I just kind of want the photo to be what it is. So for those of you who haven't been to Disney's Epcot, when you walk into the entrance, there's this very large this is actually a building, really. But you walk in and you see this huge thing that looks like a tennis ball. But this is kind of like iconic Disney. And I had this photo taken with a Disney PhotoPass photographer. And I just love the way that they came out. I thought this would be perfect to start out my Epcot album. Alrighty, next up, I have some journaling here. And I talk about how I flew into Orlando and for a trade show, which was the Creativation trade show. And I had a lot of fun there. And so, of course, I couldn't go without going to Disney World. So that's what I did. So I think what I want to do is some layered stamping on this because I feel kind of inspired to do that. And this is, I want to say this is a Echo Park stamp set, perhaps. I also have a Kelly Perky one from a long time ago. I'm going to see how far that takes me. And I think I might do banner. And again, I'm trying to keep this relatively simple. Because sometimes it just, you know, it feels good to do that. Okay, I'm going to take this little banner and I'm going to ink that up I'm using some Concord and 9th premium ink, and this color is called Buttercup. That way that'll stay still. Let me test this out. Actually, let me not test it out on mine. Let me test it out on a scrap. That'll work. You grab a scrap because I don't know if the ink will go through, and then that'll be a whole thing. Hey, where'd it go? Scrap paper somewhere. Here we go. All right. I probably have this swatched somewhere, but I just want to test this out real quick. Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, so let's get into it. So I think what I want to do is just kind of do that. And there's a stamp that says "Say Cheese." And I think I want to do that. And this midnight color. Or do I want peacock? What do I want? No, I think I want the navy blue. Layered stamping is a fantastic way to stretch your stamps, and if you don't have a ton of embellishments, you can create a lot of interest on your projects doing some layered stamping. So I always start with the lightest color first and then work my way up to the darker color. Come on, trying to get that. I'm just testing this out. Okay. I definitely want to use that color. How about some aqua? Maybe I want aqua instead. A lot of the stuff that I'm using has aqua in it. The Star Wars campus at Disneyland is amazing. That should be your next Disney trip. You know what? We went to Star Wars at Disney World. It was fantastic. It was the last thing we went to in Hollywood Studios, so we didn't get to spend a lot of time, but I definitely want to check it out in Disneyland. I haven't been to Disneyland since I was 18, so I've slept since then. I definitely look forward to making that trip one day as well. Okay, let's see about this color. I think I might go with this lighter color, actually. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So, let me grab something real quick. Hang tight. I'm having a little trouble getting a good solid impression, and I could probably use my ink positioning tool, my stamp positioning tool, my Misty, but I just grabbed a piece of foam, fun foam, and that's going to give my stamp a little bit more give, and I think that's good. So anytime that you're having a problem getting a nice impression, put a piece of foam underneath your project. Give your stamp a little bit of give. All right. Okay. And let's bring in cranberry or poppy. Let's test it out. So now I want to bring in maybe the star stamp. Let me know in the chat, how often do you reach for your stamps when you're working on your projects? We just finished the Victoria Marie online virtual crop, the Rock Your Stash online virtual crop. This past month's theme was use your stamps. We had a lot of fun with that. So let me know, how often are you using your stamps on your projects? For some people, it's like a last minute thought, right? I think I'm going to go with cranberry. I'm going to layer that right there. Ooh, love that. That's looking good. That's looking good in the neighborhood. All right. And how about one more? Let me know in the chat, how often do you stamp on your pages, and do you play with layered stamping, which is essentially just layering stamped elements on a page. Great way to stretch your stash. Great way to add a little bit of customization to your projects. Just going to clean these off real quick, and I think I want to add some little shooting stars here. I think that'd be great. Maybe we'll do that with that Concord and 9th ink, the midnight. Just cleaning off my stamps because, you know, if you don't, it's a thing. I use them on mostly all layouts because I document in TN and I want flat embellishments. Yes, that's a really good point. Some people don't like a lot of dimensional stuff, so stamps come in clutch for that, for sure. Never reach for them. Sure could use a class on using them on scrapbook layouts. Absolutely. Love lots of stamps, so I try to bring out all the ones I know I want to use. Absolutely. I think sometimes stamps, for some scrapbookers, they get forgotten. I know I love stamps, and I have tons of stamps, and I want to make sure that I use them. Okay, now I'm trying to decide what other color do I want to use. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this midnight because it's like one of my favorite colors. Of course, I have to clean as I go. That's just how it is. That is how I roll. Okay, let's do this midnight here. And I'm just going to stamp on some little stars. Make sure that's good. Oh, that's nice. I love that. Nice, clean, simple stamping. Works well when you want to use your stamps, or maybe when you have limited supplies or you just want to do something different. Use your stuff. Okay, that's a fun stamp set to use. Looks great. Looks great. Then the last thing I want to stamp on this one, I'm going to get my Kelly Perky stamp out. And there's a stamp that says documented. Oops, come on. This one she made back in 2016. Do I want to say moment? No. Nope. Maybe I'll say dream come true because I have been wanting to do Disney on my own. So there's a stamp that says a dream come true. I think I'll do that. A dream come true. All right, let me get out my acrylic block and I need to line that up. And I think for that, I'm going to do Dove, which is a gray color. Really pretty color. So this is going to be subtle, because why not? Also, this is a really great opportunity to use those ink pads. I have tons of them. Just going to try to get that lined up. Ah, that's nice. That's nice. Layered stamping for the win. That's super nice. I could have probably moved this banner over a little bit, but, you know, I'm not going to fuss. Not going to fuss. Okay, so that's cool. Layered stamping. And, of course, you can do this on a much larger scale for larger scrapbooking projects, right? I love that you clean as you go, because I don't. I do. I have to. I'm so savvy. Type A. It's not even funny. I have to layer stamps more. I usually forget to layer, but yours looks great. Thank you so much. I sometimes forget too, and I'm trying really, really hard this year to not only use the stuff that I have, but to challenge myself to use techniques and whatnot that I sometimes forget to reach for. All right, I think this one's good. And we're going to stick this right in here. Just like that. And actually, I think I'm going to adhere this to the photo. Because sometimes, you know, our photos and our cards get kind of shifty. So I'm just going to adhere this to the photo. And it's slightly smaller than the photo, but, you know, who's going to notice? All right? Nobody's going to notice. And if they do, then, you know, oh well. Poot on them. Then I'm also going to take a red rubber eraser. I see some smudge here. And that might just be from the oils from my hand or something. Okay. Of course, you guys can't see that, but I can see it. All right. I love that you scrapbook. I love that you scrapbook more than make cards. Seems like so many people are moving away from scrapbooking into cards. You know what? I will always have scrapbook content. Always. That's kind of, you know, that's my jam. But I have no intention on just only moving to card making. Because there's so many scrapbookers out there, and we need lots of scrapbookers that are sharing their stories and sharing their design ideas and that type of thing. I have introduced card content to this channel. Mainly it's, you know, it's kind of like passion project type stuff. I want to try some different things, but I will not abandon my scrapbooking. I absolutely love scrapbooking. All right, so that's what that looks like. I love it. Thank you so much for the compliments, guys. Appreciate that. Love that. Okay, let's move on to spread number 2. This is me, not me, this is not me. This is a picture that I took when we landed into Orlando, or getting ready to land in Orlando. And I like to take airplane shots because I think they're super cool. So what I want to do is create kind of a little embellishment, stamped embellishment here that says like Dallas to Orlando. Use some little travel things. So for that, I'm actually going to switch collections real quick. And I pulled out my Simple Stories, I believe it's called Let's Go collection. Anyway, so I'm going to pull this out. And I think I want to grab the 6x8 paper pad. Excuse me. And I'm trying to see if there's a stamp with an airplane, or at least a sticker with an airplane. I definitely want to use that icon. And we'll see where we go with this. So, moving a little bit away from the Disney themed product, I'm going to, let's see, is there an airplane? Yes, there's an airplane here. So I'm going to create kind of a little card. Now, for this particular pocket, you have the 4x6 photo here at the top. And then here you have a 2x4 little pocket here that you can slip something in. So these colors go well with what I'm already working with. So I'm just going to pick something, hopefully light enough that I can see my journaling, or see the what you call, here we go, the stamping. So I think I'm going to pick this paper here. Again, using stuff out of my stash, and it's close enough to the blue. Like, I'm not going to, you know, mince words about it. I'm just going to, you know, do the thing because that's what we're here to do. Now, I had somebody ask me before, how do I prep for this? What I do is I will select about, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 stories to start out with, print the photos, do my journaling, and then do the embellishing, and then I repeat the process again. Because if I try to plan out the entire album all at once, which I may do that from a format standpoint, what happens is when I get ready to make the layout, I might change my mind. So I like doing it a few stories at a time. Okay, that looks nice. So what I want to do, again, I'm trying to keep this clean and simple because that's just kind of how I feel for this project. This is called Safe Travels Collection. Not Let's Go. It's called Safe Travels Collection by Simple Stories. If you're looking for something. Hey, Peggy, what's going on? Alrighty. So let's do some stamping on this. I have grabbed, only you can see the backstage of what's going on here. I grabbed a stamp set. Where'd it go? Here it is. Here it is. So I'm going to use this Elle Studio stamp set, and I hope that the letters are small enough for me to do what I want to do. I'm going to stamp out the flight abbreviations for Dallas and for the flight abbreviations for the Orlando airport. MCO is what I flew into. So these are Elle Studio. This is called the Medium Jane Alphabet and Number Stamp, if you're interested. Let me move this out the way real quick. I'm good on this hot and humid day. Perfect time to watch the scrap. Oh, I'm so glad you're joining us. So glad you're joining us. And hello to everyone who's just popped on. So glad you're here. Have nothing against cards. I make them when I need them, but scrapbooking is my passion. Yes, I love card making. I wouldn't probably say it's a passion. I think it's more of a kind of an extension of my crafting, amongst other things that I like to do. But I do know we have folks here in the community who like making cards and have requested card content. So we'll see how it goes. This might be a little bit too large for what I'm needing it for. Yep, now I can't spell MCO. Okay, all right, no problem. Not like I don't have others. Like I don't have other letter stamps, right? Or die cuts or whatever. So let's see what we got. I really want to stamp on this. That was my goal. So, okay, so we tried that out. That didn't work. That's a little bit too big. So we're just going to reach in the stash and grab some other letters. See, this is where, this is an argument for having a stash, because sometimes some things don't work and you need to kind of switch it up a little bit. So let me grab my letter stamps real quick. And let's see. And they're all organized, so I could just pull out that section of what I want. I have them organized by category first, letter stamps, and then by manufacturer. Let's see. Just kind of going through these to see which ones will work. I don't want them too small, but I don't want it too big either. That might work. Everything now. Oh, I think I like the Kelly Perky ones. The ton stamps. Okay. This is why I believe in organizing your stuff, because you just never know. So these are all letter stamps. I have others. And then I have them in alphabetical order by designer and manufacturer. That's how my brain works. All right, let me stick these to the side real quick. I always say organize your stuff the way that you create. So if your brain goes to color first, organize your stuff by color. If it goes to manufacturer first, organize your stuff by manufacturer. Like, be true to how you scrap. Okay, so this letter style is similar to what I initially picked. So let's do DFW. Let's find an F, because I need enough space in between these three letters to do an arrow here. So I'm going to Dallas to Orlando. Here's the W. Oh, that'll work. And then let's do MC. Oh, let me know in the chat. Are you in a position where you're scrapbooking right now? Are you working on a crafty project? Let me know. Okay, so that'll work. That'll work. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. This stamp set right here, for those who are wanting to know, is from the Paper Person shop. It's called Amelia. That's what that stamp set's called. Amelia. All right. Let's see. Oh, cool, Virginia. That's awesome. Have like, what, a gajillion alpha stamps? Same. Okay, so I think in order for this to kind of show up, I'm going to do 2 dark colors. And when I'm stamping, I just like to pick out an assortment of stamp colors based on the collections that I'm using. So the Say Cheese has blues, reds, yellows, that type of thing. So I just pulled out this nice little assortment of colors to use. And this is from Concord and Ninth. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use Cranberry and Midnight. Cranberry and Midnight. That kind of sounds like one word the way that I said it. Cranberry at midnight. Maybe that sounds like a drink. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pull out another little dish. I like to put my little letters here. Alrighty. I want to spell out DFW with an arrow. I wonder if I can get this all in one go. You know what would be helpful for this little task? A stamp positioner. I like hand stamping, but sometimes you just need a tool. It is a hot mess. You are absolutely right. MCO is a hot mess. When I flew out this past spring, oh my God. Getting through security took forever. Oh, Suze is getting ready for bed. I know it's late in the UK. Thank you, Suze, for joining me today. All my overseas folks. When I flew out of Orlando, it took me at least an hour to get through security. The lines were like super backed up. It was crazy. Okay, there we go. Let's do that in Midnight. I think I'm going to have to buy some re-inkers for DFW. For my stamps here. My ink pad. It's not as juicy as it once was. That's the cool thing about... I should have put those a little bit closer together, but that's okay. That's the beauty about the stamping tool, is that you can stamp multiple times to build up that ink. Hey Diane, no scrapping, just watching and learning today. Losing letters are the worst, yes, and I've lost many. I have a stamp that's floating around here somewhere that I lost, and I have no clue where it's at. It was a little cloud stamp. No clue where it's at. All right, let's do MCO. I didn't get the letters as close as I want them to be. You know what? I don't like that. I want them a little bit closer. I don't like that. Start over. Start over. I don't like that. Abort the mission. Let's try this again, because I didn't like that. I'm going to measure this out. It needs to be closer. So I'm not always picky like that, but sometimes I am. Sometimes I just need to be. Do I want to, let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Just a little bit. Of course, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stick my head in it, honeys, because, you know, a girl got to see. Let's see here. Let's see if that'll give me a little bit more of an even positioning. We're going to try this one more again. You know, when you don't like something, you just kind of do it over. Is that a W? Yeah, it's a W. Okay. All right, let's see if this will yield something that I like a little bit better. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it, do it, do it. Where's my little stamp press? Here she is. Let's break out my little stampy little pressy girl here. That's somewhat better. I'm going to live with it because I don't want to fool around with it anymore. So that's somewhat better. Have a good sleep, Suze. Good night. It is. The airport is super crazy during the summer months and holidays. Absolutely. You know, I went in the spring and it was just, well, everywhere that I've flown so far this year has been crazy. And I've flown at least 3 or 4 times this year so far. So it's all been crazy. Okay. That's cool. Let's move on because we got other things we got to do today, right? We got other stuff. All right. So that's the VFW. And these Concord and Ninth stamps are the ink kind of stains your stamp, but that's okay. Did you know that the more you use your stamp, the better it is? Use those stamps. Get them nice and seasoned and inkied and all that good stuff. Because the more you use them, the better they will be. Oh, no, I don't want to take that away. Okay, so DFW 2. MCO. And I want to put a little bitty arrow right in the middle. So let's line this up. I gotta like get quiet to concentrate. Is anybody else like that? Do you have to like get super quiet to concentrate when you're trying to line stuff up? And I don't have an eye for straight, so if this ends up a little wonky, it just is what it is. And I don't always use a ruler, but I think maybe I will today. Come on, little stamps. And then, of course, your acrylic stamps, they never want to stay still. Come on, Victoria. Get your life. Get your life, Victoria. There we go. Just want to get that close enough, right? Close enough. Not like, it doesn't have to be perfect because who has time for that? Okay. I'm going to stamp this using the cranberry. And I do believe I'm going to need some re-inkers. I wonder if Concord and Knight sells re-inkers for their pads. All right. Here we go. I'm going to stamp that in cranberry. And we'll probably have to do that just a few times just to make that show up. Okay, I'm happy with this, right? I'm happy with it. Ooh, Victoria, you get ink everywhere, girl. Okay. And of course, sorry guys, move that up because my camera just does not want to stay still. There we go. All right. Let's clean that up. I love red ink, but after a while, it kind of starts looking like blood. Fun fact, I do not splatter using red ink because it just looks like blood to me. I refuse to do it. Okay. So here we go. Let's go ahead and put these back because a lost stamp is a sad stamp. So you might as well just go ahead and put it back on your sheet. And now, let's get an arrow going. So what I thought I'd do, I got ink everywhere. Hold on just a second, guys. And of course I have like 0 paper towels up here. Miami's pretty bad too. Atlanta is a nightmare. Yeah. I haven't flown into Atlanta, but I've drove through Atlanta not too long ago. Oops, stained my tabletop. That's all right. It's all good. Okay, nice to have little wipes around because you just never know. Okay, so now I need a little arrow to go here, and I thought that I'd reach into my little goodies to see if I have an arrow. Oops. That's a little bit too big. But never fear. I've got always have backups via my bloom. So let me take this away. Let's open the bloom. Ta-da! Here is an airplane that's going to work. Look at that. I was going to do an arrow. Let's do the airplane. Are we like team airplane on this one? Heck yeah. Sometimes it just works out. You just never know what you have in your stash that you can use. Oh my God, friends. That could not be more perfect. That could not be more perfect. Right? Let's get some Barely Art glue on that sucker. I was going to do an arrow. Let's do an airplane instead because, you know, that could not be more perfect. I've had this little thing in my stash forever. And today is the day. I've probably had that little airplane in my stash for at least, I don't know, 7 years. That could not be more perfect. Sometimes it just works out that way. Right? It just works out that way. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now we're going to add that. I need to grab a paper towel real quick. We can now add that to our spread. Had some residual stuff left over from that wipe I just used. Now this can be added here. I mean, seriously, that could not be cooler. All right. I'm loving just how this is just nice and simple and clean. I had an idea to add some more, excuse me, embellishing here, but I think I just like it clean like this. You know, I think I just like it. That's just kind of how I'm feeling right now. And you guys know me. I love to embellish and I love to layer and stuff, but sometimes you just need it straightforward. And I'm really liking how that's looking. Yeah. That's why we as scrappers keep everything. You got that right, Peggy. It's even better, right? It's even better. I just love it. Okay. Yep, we're going to keep it. That's a keeper. Nice, clean, simple. It doesn't have to be difficult. Love that. Okay, so then I have this other part to address back here. And I think I'm going to go back to my paper pad here, or maybe I'm going to bring in my 6x6 paper pads from Echo Park. And do I have a little scrap of something? I think I'm going to use this little scrap here. This is so much fun. I'm really enjoying this. I was almost tempted. I have a scrappy buddy who converted all of her 12 by 12 scrapbook albums into these Traveler's Notebook size albums. It was a 4-year process that she did this. And she finally finished. And it looks fantastic. I think I'm going to do Magical. So I wanted this yellow to play off of this pocket card. This is from Elle's Studio. I believe this is from Elle's Studio. And then this is from Elle's Studio. And it says details of our trip. And I'm going to change this up a little bit because I want this to say my trip. And then I can fill in the details later. But for now, I want to put this little piece here. Come on. Come on. Get in there. There we go. That looks nice, and that plays off that yellow. So we're doing a little bit of color coordinating. So, story behind this photo. When you drive into Disney property, you'll see their welcome sign, Disney World. And on this particular sign, they've updated it recently, but it also has the 50th anniversary decor on it as well, because Disney was celebrating their 50th anniversary. And when we first went to Disney World, and even our second trip, we flew. And although we were able to see the sign, I wasn't ever able to take a photo of it. So this time I was bound and determined on my way to Epcot, I was going to take a photo of the sign of the entrance because I think that's iconic. I have a lot of white space up here, so I can decide if I want to add something here to the photo. And I think I'm going to add the word magical. And this is an Elle Studio puffy sticker. And I think I'm going to do it outside the pocket. Um, excuse me. And then it has some little, thought about, no, that's a little bit too big. I thought about adding some more starburst to that, but I think that might be all that I add there. But I do want to add something here. Let me bring my little cart back over. In another video, I will share my Disney cart with you guys. I have the Say Cheese 4. This is from the Say Cheese 4 collection. And I like this little sticker that says magic. I also like hello to go there. Even though I feel that the phrase hello is just overused so much in crafting, I kind of like it there. Let's see, is there anything else? I'm just kind of looking to see what all I have here that could possibly go. And the interesting thing is that because this is a solo trip, a lot of the words and things that are on these embellishments say like our trip and together and you know those types of things. So I'm having to make sure that that I personalize it so that it does speak to a solo trip. I kind of like the idea of a camera here. And then this is a sticker sheet from Echo Park called Magical Place. I kind of like that. Okay, so that's not going to go outside the pocket. We're actually going to put that right on this little piece of paper, pattern paper. So I'm going to put the camera, just kind of tilt it. I'm going to add a tiny bit of dimension, not a whole lot, just a little bit, using some little foam. Hey, Anna. Oh, that would have been a good idea. I might have to do that again in another page. But yes, very good idea. Let's see here. I'm going to put something else with this too, but I want to layer that there. Okay. Yes, Kim, that was a huge undertaking. 4 years she worked on that project. Can you imagine? 4 years. I don't think that I have ever worked on a scrapbook project for 4 years. Excuse the noise in the background. There's somebody driving their motorcycle down my road, down my street. Okay, now I'm trying to see, where did I... Here it is. That might be too big now that I'm... Well, I don't know. Let's see. 4 years. I don't think I've ever worked on a scrapbook project that long. But she was committed to it. And she got it done, and she posted a picture of all her albums lined up on her bookshelf, and it looks fabulous. Quite an undertaking. Quite an undertaking. Ooh, maybe we'll do it like that. What do you guys think? Put it at the top here. I think I like that. I still feel like I want something here, so let me see. Excuse me. I am so sorry for the cough, guys. I had COVID not too long ago, and that those of you who've had COVID before know that you sometimes have this residual cough, and mine is very mild. But it's still there, and I find that it kicks up just a little bit whenever I'm talking a lot. All right, so I think I'm going to do hello, remember this. Yeah, you guys like it? Yeah, I like that. And I'm actually going to keep it outside the pocket. Does this have adhesive on it? No. So I'm going to do some double-sided adhesive there. Keep it outside the pocket. And then this other one that says remember this. And then there's something else that's going to go here. I just need to decide what that's going to be. I don't know yet. All right. So let's go ahead and break out the double-sided adhesive box labeled double-sided adhesive. You know what? And I think a heart would go nicely there. That's a really good idea. Paula says, been to Disney World over 30 times, Disneyland 6 times, Disney Tokyo. Wow. Hope Disney Paris. You got to round it out, Paula. You got to go to all of them, right? That is amazing. That is amazing. All right, let's use some double-sided tape. I'm using some double-sided tape from Scrapbook.com. Some of my favorite. I'm just going to put it here. And don't be afraid to put things outside your pockets, right? That is awesome. You are definitely a Disney fan. I know some folks who go to Disney World, Disneyland, or any Disney property, they go quite often. A friend, her and her family go to Disney World every year for Thanksgiving, which I think is a fabulous idea. They just decided one year they don't like to cook and they don't want family over, so they're like, we're going to spend Thanksgiving at Disney World. That had some adhesive on it, but it came off, so let's get the thinner strip. So they spend their holiday at Disney World. And they stay for about 10 days, and they do Thanksgiving. And they rent a nice Airbnb. Sometimes they do a split stay where they'll select a resort to stay at, and then they'll stay at an Airbnb depending on how many of their adult children join them. Because their adult children now have children of their own. And they just made that their annual thing. They're like, you know what? We don't have to cook. Oh, goodness. And we can go and have fun and be in a place that we all enjoy, and everyone can kind of do their own thing, and we come together when we want to come together, and they enjoy it. I'm all for destination vacations, for sure. How about a Mickey head? That's a really good idea, too. I've got another Mickey head in here. What do we think? Mickey head? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Anna had said a red heart, or maybe a heart lined in red, but I kind of like them. I like both of those ideas, but I have this Mickey hanging around, so why not? My kind of giving things. Absolutely. Absolutely. Me too. Me too. I think we're going to go with the Mickey head. Let's do that. Alrighty. So let's slip that in. Mickey head it is. Let's do it. I'm going to line these two up. Oops. I'm telling you, gosh, that airplane, I mean, that could not have been more perfect. Okay, let's see here. Okay. And I'm just going to trim off the excess, because for whatever reason, even though I thought I trimmed them at the same size, they did not come out the same size. Hate when that happens. Okay. I'm going to stick this in here. And that page is done. Just arrived. How's your tooth? Hey, Carol. My tooth is much better. I've been on an antibiotic for the past couple of weeks, and that's helped with a slight infection that I knew that I had for a very long time. And I'm feeling much, much better. I can talk without, grimacing, so that's really good. Okay, I think what I want to do on this one is maybe do a little bit of stamping here. I think, because now that I put that there, I kind of want to take that off. Because now I think I want to stamp. But I don't know what I want to stamp there, though. I like the word magical, but now that I have this situation going on, I felt like having that word magical there was a little bit too much. So, I might leave this the way it is, or I might stamp something on it. I just don't know yet. So I'm not going to make that decision right now because I don't want to stamp on it and then, it'd be a whole thing. Alrighty. Next up, this is a photo of me. This is the selfie that I took when I entered the park. I have on my Tiana-inspired ears, and I also have my Tiana-inspired t-shirt, which I don't think you can actually see there either. But I think this one says Tiana's Place, I think. I can't remember. But I got these ears off of Etsy, and I can't remember the shop owner, but I just love them. They're my favorite ears. I got lots of compliments on them when I was there at the trip. So I found this pocket card, and the color matches the color in my ears. And then this other pocket card that has this layered design. So I'm going to add some journaling here, but I want to put a little something there. So let's see. I think we're going to go with, let's go back to our little dish. Ouch. I thought about adding like some wood veneer. Like that says so much fun. I thought about adding a camera, but that's a little bit too much, a little bit too big. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Little wood veneer castle. Thanks for joining me today. I know some people got to get back to work. Like, this is a great lunch break, but now I got to go make the money to buy the scrappy things, right? Happiest place on earth. You can also do a little star to kind of play off the stars there. And then, of course, there's another heart. Ooh, I kind of like that nestled in there. This might be so much fun. And I'm digging through to see what else I have. Maybe I can use to kind of layer a little bit. Nope. I kind of like that. That's cute. All right. So where's that? Let me get my double-sided tape again. I'm going to stick that outside the pocket because, sometimes you want to roll like that. You can't help but just smile and giggle when you're at Disney World. And I just smiled and giggled like the whole time I was there. And I met a lot of really cool people. Now, here's the thing. I'm a pretty social person. My family members are not. Meaning Aubrey and Corinne are not. And so there are times, I need a glue dot for that, where we're traveling and we're meeting people. And either people strike up conversations with me or I strike up conversations with other people. And before you know it, Aubrey and Corinne have just slowly walked away. When we went to South Carolina, I was chatting up this guy. He and I were dancing to some song that came on in the shop that we were at. We were just having a good time. And before I know it, Corinne and Bree had just walked away. My little antisocial people. Anyway, so I try, I do talk up a lot of folks whenever I'm out and about. And I love socializing with people. I think it's so much fun. I met a family from, I think they were visiting from, I want to say it was from France. And I met a family that was from Pennsylvania. And I met a family that was from Chicago. And we're just talking and they offered to take pictures of me and all that good stuff. So that's what that looks like. Very simple. I love this little acrylic piece. It's nice and shiny, kind of holographic a little bit. It's really cute. That's from Elle's studio. I love it. Hey, Anna, she's Victoria. You did it again. 3 spots of color green gingham journaling card and the ears. I agree. Hey, Jen says, my daughters are the same as your fam. I chat away with strangers and my girls roll their eyes. Yes. Oh my goodness. I try really hard to, to not embarrass my family, but it is what it is. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do today is this journaling card. And what I did, the first thing I did when I got to Epcot, besides take a whole bunch of PhotoPass photos, is I was hungry, as I'd been up early that morning, and I usually don't eat before a flight because it makes my stomach feel weird. And so by the time I got all settled in, I was definitely starving. So I went to the American Adventures Pavilion, and I had been wanting to eat at a quick service restaurant called the Regal Eagle. It serves barbecue, and I had heard so many vloggers talk about this restaurant, and they're just raving about the food. Well, I went there. I ordered some ribs, macaroni and cheese, and some coleslaw and a lemonade. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. The ribs were kind of chewy. The macaroni and cheese and coleslaw didn't have much flavor. The lemonade was great, however. And so, at least for my first time there, I didn't particularly care for that restaurant. I was so disappointed because I was looking forward to eating there. And so I was really honest in my review about it. Like, this was sadly, it just didn't hit. The one thing about Disney is that it is consistently inconsistent. So if you eat someplace one time, try it again the next time that you go because it may be different. And so maybe this was an off day. I don't know. But in any event, I took a picture of the outside of the restaurant, which is so beautiful. And it has the flower and garden stuff out there, which is really nice. A selfie, and then, of course, a picture of my food. I'm a person who takes a picture of their food. I just love it. All right, so I designed this around these little stickers here. This is a Disney branded little Mickey heads. And I thought for my journaling, I would do some bullet points. So this was my itinerary. I'm going to put my trip itinerary or something like that up here. I printed this out on vellum, which, by the way, I just did a video about how I print on vellum, so make sure you check that out. So the main things I want to do: take tons of photos, eat at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, tour the World Showcase, enjoy the Flower and Garden Festival, and then see the Voices of Liberty performers at the American Adventures Pavilion, which, if you haven't seen them perform, oh my God, they're fantastic, and I was just in tears. It was just beautiful. So I recently purchased these little Mickey head stickers, and I thought these would be great as bullet points on my journaling when I designed this. So I am going, look at these. Aren't they sweet? They're just so adorable. Cute little stickers. I just love that. Very, very cute. All right, so let me grab some tweezers. And since it's a little bit past what I wanted to, what I'm going to do is finish off the title off camera, and then I'm going to post a picture of it. So if you make sure that you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, make sure you subscribe to my blog and my e-newsletter so you can follow along with this project as I go along. These little stickers have a tiny little bit of foam. Oh, there we go. Have a tiny little bit of foam on the back, just to let you know. And I'm just going to use these as my bullet points for my list. Whoa. Let's not fling it off the paper here, Victoria. And I thought this would be perfect. Now, I could have made some little Mickey heads, which would have been fine with my little punch, my little Mickey punch. But I love the texture. These are sticky brads, is what they're calling them. And they're plastic material, like acrylic material, I should say. And I'm going to alternate black, red, and white. These were on sale at Joann's recently, by the way. This is where I got them at. I got them at Joann. Kim says, I find that all Disney food is mediocre. You know, the past 2 trips, we weren't all that enthralled with Disney food. We had a couple of, well, more than a couple of wins. We had some places where we thought were really, really good. We ate at Topolino's, which was fabulous. And there's a couple other things. But it's just really inconsistent depending on where you go. There are some places that are always just fantastic. And then there's others that are just like, nope, not feeling it. We ate at, when we went in February, oh, Victoria. We ate at Art Smith's Homecoming in Disney Springs. And again, it's one of those restaurants where people just raved about it. And I was so excited to go, and we went, and we were just super disappointed with it. Just very disappointed. Um, it just was not good. And I don't know if they were just having a bad night or whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? I'll try everything twice and see how it goes. I just remember the food being better when we went in 2018. And it could just be that they didn't have a lot of their regulars back. I don't know, with the pandemic and having to make some changes. I don't know what it was, but it just was not hitting. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to work on the title because I'm actually not quite sure what I want to say up here or how I want to design it. I did know, however, I wanted to use these little Mickey heads. So that adds a nice little bit of texture to that. And this is adhered using some Tombow Mono adhesive. So I'm going to come back to that and I'll show you guys what that looks like once that's done. So let's see what we've got done already. Not a bad start to this project. So I created the inside cover, which I'm still thinking I'm going to add something to. I don't think I'm done with this just yet. Have my picture, my PhotoPass photo. Love this. Then I did some layered stamping using Sage Cheese stamp collection. A little bit of journaling there. Also, my little in-flight photo that I took, stamped out Dallas-Fort Worth, MCO. Found this really cool little wood veneer airplane. Perfect. It could just not be more perfect. Love that. Then got my photo here of the entrance of Disney World, which I was so excited. Glad that I used that hello there, because that is actually appropriate for that. And then did this little cluster here. I might add a little enamel dot or something to this. I haven't decided if I'm going to put anything on that pocket card, but I will add some journaling to this one, just some trip details. I'm going to customize that just a tiny bit more. And then on the back side, I have this pocket card. I'm going to add some more journaling here. And then the photo, my little selfie that I took at the entrance of Epcot. And I love all the flowers and just so pretty. So pretty. And then this one is still a work in progress. So I'll finish this out and I'll post photos, obviously. And I will continue to work on this project both live and recorded. So you'll be able to see, join me live or just catch it on the replay or just watch one of the process videos for it. I created this using Photoshop, by the way. It's actually very simple. So it's a great start. It's a great little start to this project. I agree. Great little start. Let's see, Pam said, go during Food and Wine Festival. Oh my goodness, yes. I will say that the food that I ate during this trip, I had better food from the food booths at the Flower and Garden Festival than I did at some of the restaurants. I don't know why that is. I had some really tasty food at the food booths. So there we go. All right, folks. That's a good start to my Disney album. So excited about this project. My goal is to finish it in 12 weeks, so I'll continue to work on this. I'll post some process videos. I may not film every single spread in this project, but I want to film at least majority of it, and then I will wrap it up with a video tour of the completed project. So thank you for your ideas. Thank you for your support. For those of you who supported my super chat today, thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting Victoria Marie Designs in that way. Make sure, if you haven't already, give this a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today's content. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time I go live. All my social links are posted down in the description. And if you want more information about what was used or what's going to be used for this particular project, I posted some links down in the comment section or down in the description below. We'll be back next week. I think I either have a Cricut live or either a process like Watch Me Scrap live. I can't remember which one. It's on my calendar, but I'll be back next week live 2:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, feeling much better. I can talk without pain, so I'm glad to be back. Make sure you follow me on my socials, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Oh, by the way, if you are working on Disney projects, I would love to see them. So join the Victoria Marie Facebook group. The link is posted down below, or tag me on Instagram. I would love to see what you're making. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.